If you guys have been following along with my faith transformation the past couple of weeks, St. Mary's, Father Mark, that whole thing, you probably have heard me talk about a seminarian who is super cool, and his name is Alex Lorang. Also, I'm gonna card it up here, his last weekend at St. Mary's, which I went back and I just watched that video again. Just brought up so many good memories, and I wish I could go back in time, not to change anything from that weekend. Well, maybe go to church to say bye and like actually know that was okay, but like, you know, but just to feel something again and to go and experience the praise and worship night with young adults. That was pretty, I don't want to say exclusive, but like exclusive. It was very small, and just people that Alex had met and become friends with. And now I know one or two of the people there, well, two people. I know two of the people who were there outside of Father Mark and Alex, and those two people hopefully are my future besties, and it would just be cool to like go back and do that again, knowing them a little bit more personally. Yeah, so we talked about giving Alex these cookies because I said in the video that I carded about his last weekend that he was gluten intolerant, so I forgot if it was gluten intolerant or he just couldn't have gluten at all, but isn't that like the same thing? So we're gonna make those cookies again just to kind of celebrate Alex's Theology on Tap. That series, all the videos have been posted, so that will also be in the St. Mary, Faith, Father Mark, Alex type playlist. Yeah, let's go make some cookies, and I will tell you some Alex stories, and we'll just hang out. Are you ready? Without further ado, let's get on to the video. The first thing it says is to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. It was at the end of this table where Father Mark sat when he came over for dinner. I don't know if it was this exact chair. This table was bigger because we added some extensions, but he sat underneath this picture. Okay, but anyway, enough about Father Mark because this is about these cookies. We're gonna mash 3 large bananas with a fork. Yep, 3 large ripe bananas with a fork. A little quick side story. It has nothing to do with Alex, but it has something to do with just cookies in general. We had a huge family reunion, and we got to see almost all of my cousins, all my aunts, all my uncles, my grandma and grandpa, and it was the night of the main events, the Saturday night, which was like the actual official. And so that night I'm in the basement. Everybody had already gone back home, and it's me, my aunt, and her husband, my uncle, my other uncle, and my cousin and his wife, and me. And they were playing cards. They were definitely drinking, not gonna lie, but they were definitely drinking. And my cousin, who I absolutely think is the coolest person ever, hugging me and was like, we're gonna take you on our boat, because I had asked because they have a boat. He was like, Ida, did you make me cookies? Because he had saw the brownie cookies private Facebook post, and he was like, those look so good, and he just kept saying, I want cookies, you need to make me cookies, I will eat your cookies even if they're burnt. And then I was DMing him on our way home, and I'm like, we should make cookies together, and he's like, yeah, maybe someday we'll go back out to grandma's and we will make cookies. So these cookies are also in memory of my cousin Cody, who's super cool, and hopefully it encourages him to look at his calendar and to come and make some sort of cookies with me. All right, let's go do step 3. It's the next day, and I was taking the cookies out of the oven, checked my camera roll, and realized that all like the main part of my vlog wasn't there, and I'm like 99.9% sure I was actually recording because I knew that I had almost 15 minutes of content. So I need to be very careful because I'm remaking the cookies again. Watched First Things First, Father Mark Homily again. And I can say that I'm probably an actual YouTuber now because I actually lost my content. So let's remake these cookies, and we're gonna use some different dried fruit. So yeah. In this large bowl, I am going to put in a half a cup of crunchy peanut butter. I tried spraying it with some cooking oil, hoping that, oh, look, it's pretty good. Alright, so we already have more of a success than we did last time, because last time it was really hard to get it out. We're going to put in a tablespoon of butter softened, 2 tablespoons of agave honey, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I have 3 large ripe bananas. I forgot which stories I told in that main clip as well. So I'll just kind of come up with something. My favorite Alex song, well, Little Panes of Glass is just an absolute banger. It's his only song on Spotify at the moment. It's my de-stressor when I come home from work. It's just really good to just blare. After the praise and worship night for young adults and some of Alex's young adult friends from St. Mary, I listened to it like 5 times after I got off the phone with Emily. Absalom's a banger, but also the song that he played on the ukulele at Theology on Tap is just a really good positive affirmation song, I feel like. And I hope that song is on his album. In a separate medium bowl, I'm going to stir together 2.5 cups of Quaker old-fashioned oats, but we're going to cheat and we're going to use quick oats. A teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and now we're just going to stir this together until it's combined. It was a couple of days before Alex was leaving St. Mary, and Dad's like, we should make Alex cookies. And I think it was in the shower, I was like, wait, we need to make sure he's not allergic to anything or that he can eat, he doesn't like anything or whatever, before we just give him cookies that he can't even eat. This is how much I thought Alex was cool. I really wanted him to eat the cookies. So one morning after Mass, Dad and I were going to ask Alex, but he was caught up talking to people, so we ended up asking Father Mark. But I'm not complaining that we talked to Father Mark, because anything with Father Mark is amazing. And he said that he was gluten intolerant, doesn't really eat gluten. So thank God we found some legit cookies that didn't really require too much extra special ingredients. Now we're going to add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, and we're going to stir this until combined. I also mentioned my cousin Cody and how much he loves cookies, and how he said he's going to take us on his boat, but he should also take me to a Florida Georgia Line concert. LOL, just kidding. Well, actually, no, that would be really fun to go see Florida Georgia Line with Cody. You can just be making cookies one day with Cody and just be listening to Florida Georgia Line. And his wife Lauren can be there drinking her mango White Claw. So we can all go on the boat. Sounds pretty fun, doesn't it? I told him, and I was also telling my other cousin Gail, that our next family reunion should be on a huge boat. Like a private boat, just us. We don't want anybody else, not even a boat driver. We can easily drive the boat. We're gonna add our beaten egg, and we're gonna stir it again until the egg is combined. One of the guys who was at Alex's Praise and Worship Night was good friends with Alex. He is a videographer, and he recorded the whole farewell concert that Alex did, but I think there's some technical difficulties, so that video hasn't come out yet, but I'm really hoping it comes out. We're gonna add a half of a cup of chocolate chips and 1/4 of a cup of chopped seasonal fruit. Last night we used dried cranberries and dried cherries, but today we're using dried apricots. And we're just gonna give that a stir. I'm gonna get out a baking sheet and then we'll form the cookies in the next clip. I'm just gonna make them a cookie scoop big. I can't believe I recorded all these cookies and everything last night. They turned out really good and I lost all of my footage. It was about a week or two ago that we played Ultimate Frisbee again with some young adults at St. Mary, and we were in the old church praying the rosary with at least 2 of the same people who are at Alex's praise and worship night. And I don't know, just it just made me really sad that Father Mark and Alex were gone. I don't know why. I was just feeling all the feels. And definitely trying to remember and reminisce on the Young Adults Praise and Worship Night, because it's one of the best ways to go to adoration. I've mentioned before, I think in a Theology on Tap video, that I have a seminarian prayer that I pray, just kind of in memory of Alex, but also I think seminarians are very cool. They're our future priests. I'm trying to think of any other good Alex stories. His Lectio Divina, like he did one, I think that would be a really cute name for my future kid. We'll call her like Lexia, Lexia, and then Divina as her middle name. So cute. But I think that's kind of the night that we really started to become friends with Alex, and I was like, wow, this guy's really cool. And I think just definitely one of like the things that just really struck me the most about Alex was he could be talking to somebody else and I would always wave to him and he would always look up and acknowledge me and be like, hi Ida, hi Lou. He was homeschooled, he can like ride a unicycle. He got Dad to go to Fit Shepherds, and I think that was the only one time Dad went to Fit Shepherds. I mean, it was kind of mean, but I was like, Alex, encourage my dad. And he did. I'm really happy. I'm gonna put a batch in. We're gonna cook them for 15 minutes or until they are done. And then we're gonna let them cool on a baking sheet to set a 15-minute timer. I'm just gonna try the toothpick trick. Give it. If I really just lost half of the content that I just filmed, I'm gonna be so upset. But let's see if these breakfast cookies are a success. They taste like breakfast cookies.
Huh?
They taste like breakfast cookies. I'm gonna be so upset if I can't retrieve that old footage. Well, ciao babes, if you ever see this. It's a little while later. All the cookies are out of the oven. Just putting them all on a cookie sheet. I also have to take the thumbnail and some advertisement photos. I just wrote out the advertisement script. I also want to kind of try to fit the last 4 from last night all on here as well. What do you guys think? They're gluten-free. All right, we got a photo to take. And you're live with me on taking a thumbnail. I need to take a food photography class. Let's just try one of the new batch first. They're still kind of warm, so the chocolate's still really melty. It's so good. Even though I had to make these cookies again, I would say that it was a success both times. And but what else was I gonna say?
What?
What else was I gonna say on the vlog?
What else are you supposed to say before?
You wanna say ciao babes together?
Sure.
You wanna try one?
I would love to.
These all have this little guy.
How do you feel that you're basically sitting in the same spot that Father Mark sat when he came to our house?
I feel great, and these cookies are just to die for.
You have to say something, a story or something about Alex Lorang.
I have nothing to say about him.
Just say anything.
One time, he thought my name was. Wait, what did he think my name was at one time?
Josephine?
Oh yeah.
Was it that?
He thought my name was Josephine.
Was it really actually though?
I think so.
You have to say something about your cousin Cody.
Why?
He was also the honorable mention in this vlog.
Hello, cousin Cody.
You don't want
That's
to
so
say a
weird.
fact about him or a
I
story
can
about
actually
Cody?
not. Ciao, babes.
We have to say it together.
Ciao,
3, 2, 1. Ciao, babes.